Welcome. Today we're going to talk about the greatest knowledge and the hardest knowledge, which is supposed to be the easiest and simplest knowledge because it is all about you. You know, last satsang I made a comment about knowing how you feel about you. And, well, it was expected. You know, nobody knew exactly how to feel about themselves. You know, what do you mean, the higher self, lower self, or, you know, what, the bad stuff, the good stuff, etc., etc. Okay, it's really very simple. But then again, when it comes to you, it becomes the hardest. Because the least we know about is always you. See, more ordinarily, when we look at the world, we think we're seeing something outside of us. We do not realize that all the time, all we ever think and feel and know is all about you and how you feel about you. T.S. Eliot wrote something very wonderful. He said, "We shall never cease from exploration, and at the end of all our exploring we shall arrive at where we started and know that place for the first time." Which is, of course, completing the circle. We start out being ourselves, and then we end up, after years and years and centuries of seeking ourselves, we find us. And we find we've never gone any place, but always here and now. Yesterday I was watching a documentary about the Green River Killer. Now here's a man who murdered over 75 young women between the ages of 16 to 25. They couldn't find him. They couldn't get him. And after 20 years, when he was captured, they forced him to talk about the bodies that have not been found. And he was afraid of death, so he said that he'll say everything and tell everything if he's spared from being killed. And he told the truth. And one of the things he said was very interesting. He said he enjoyed killing. He said he became addicted to killing these young women who were prostitutes. And then when he was asked why, he said because they were trash. They were garbage. And I was happy to get rid of them. But he couldn't think about anything else but killing his next victim. Now let's look at it realistically. What was he doing? Of course, when you watch something like this, you want to kill him. You want to destroy him. He is despicable. But let's understand now. What was he really doing? He hated himself so much that with every murder he was murdering himself. He was killing himself. And he couldn't kill enough to get rid of his guilt, his inner shame, his self-loathing. See, this is the story of you. But in all of this, how you feel about you, I'd like to state this. You are complete. You are whole. You are a human being playing the human role. As you play the human role, you forget about the being that you really are. And so you spend all the time searching for yourself. Everything you do for you. When I asked people at satsang, he said, what is it you want more than anything? Oh, some said, travel around the world, or have success, or have the right perfect relationship, or have money. Some even said, I want to wake up, to find peace. But the key was that all they wanted was themselves, having those things. All you want is you, but we never think of it. In fact, when I ask people, how do you feel about yourself? Not only they didn't know what they wanted, but also they didn't even know that all they ever despised or loved was always a feeling. I don't feel good enough. I feel there's something wrong with me. I feel there's something lacking. I need to get something. I need to fix something. It's always you. You see, but you can't help that. It is always about you. The world revolves around you. Whatever you see outside of you is you. If you're terribly afraid of people talking about you or against you, it is because that's how you feel about you. See, there's only you. And what is feeling? But we'll go into that in a moment. Okay? But first, realize this, that the most important thing there is for you is you. But who is you? Is it the body? But the body is changing all the time. Is it your reputation? Your reputation is also the same like the body. It can change from moment to moment. So what is it? Who is this you that you want more than anything? And here comes the crux of the matter. So to repeat, there is nothing but you. But in truth, you are being, playing the human role. Being is complete, being is fulfilled, being, there's nothing to add. It is the greatest bliss, the greatest joy, the greatest happiness, the greatest beauty, the greatest love is you. But you don't know that until you find you. And so it's all about searching for you. Oh, you search in many places. In the beginning you start in religion. And then you find that all religions are divisive. They're separation. There's got to be something better. And you begin to realize after a while that what you want is greater oneness. Ah, oneness. It's you. All there is the one, and you are the one. So let us talk about feeling. You know, people say, oh, I feel angry, or I feel happy, or I feel loving, or I feel bad. But we never stop to look at the word feeling. What is feeling? Immediately, the moment we think of feeling, we think of it as emotion. But that's only the result of so much process that goes on within ourselves. Let me explain. What is feeling? See, all feeling, real feeling, is pure feeling. Pure feeling means goes back to the nature of you, who you really are. Who you really are is pure awareness. Right now, you're watching this video. But if at this moment you were to stop all thinking, become very still, and just for a moment think of nothing, but here and now. What is left when you're not thinking about the past or the future or who you think you are? All that's left is awareness. I am aware. That pure awareness is our true nature. It is timeless, beginningless, endless. It is the source itself. There was never a time when pure awareness started. It is the mystery. It is being. It is who you are. It is eternal, beyond time and space. The qualities of pure awareness are joy, happiness, bliss, goodness, infinity, timelessness, boundlessness, fullness. Yesterday I was, during the afternoon, went to the common ground, to the higher ground, sorry. It's a place I frequent because they have great sandwiches. And so I was having a sandwich, and as I was eating, a mother walked in with a child in her arms, a 1-year-old. And the moment she put him down, he started running, squealing with joy. It was adorable. And I looked at this child, and there was so much joy, so much beautiful aliveness, energy. He was in ecstasy. Now, the question is, where did he get that joy? It is his natural state. He was being himself. He did not acquire it. He did not develop it. It is who he is. Pure awareness, pure being. See, that's, believe it or not, is our true nature. It is who you are. You are that. And you're always striving for that. But you see, what we do is we go outside ourselves to find it in entertainment, in pleasure, in the enjoyment of the senses, which is okay. Everything is okay. But we don't find it until we find who we are. For example, pure awareness. From pure awareness comes consciousness. Consciousness is what you're conscious of. That immediately creates a sense of separation. I am conscious of that. So as I begin to think about that, which becomes an impression, it's called thought. Then I begin to think about that thought. And then I begin to believe that the thought is real. Well, the moment I think the thought is real, it has become a belief. And it is these beliefs that make up the emotional body. The Course in Miracles says that the body is neutral. It is all mind. Very true. So what you have made real in your mind are your emotions. Emotions simply means emotion, energy, motion, which of course is felt in your body. So whatever you have made real, good or bad, okay, it's a material because it's all a judgment, is felt in your body. Now, when you don't look at these emotions as something to look at because it's made up of how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, what you have accumulated in your thought process about you, if you don't look at them and you try to get rid of them, that's when we start having real problems. Trying to get rid of an emotional problem is impossible because you are the problem that created it in the first place. All you need to do is understand it. And when we go into it, we'll find that we are given two strong drives. The human has two strong drives: to attain something, to be better, to improve, to grow, and also to avoid, to get rid of, to heal, to fix. But you see, when you go into being and you realize you are being, there's nothing to fix and there's nothing to improve. The being is that joy of that child, is the enjoyment that your heart cherishes and wants more than anything. It is the love that you're always seeking in a relationship without making a relationship with yourself. Because you see, when you start seeing that everything that you want and need is you, and you start getting to know you, because you is all there is to you. Wow, that is quite something to realize. That in itself starts your completion. Like T.S. Eliot said, after all our exploring, we shall arrive at where we started and know that place for the first time. That all we'll ever find is who you are. For 27 years I played teacher in Toronto. But it wasn't until during a conflicted relationship, which was just a few years ago actually, that I realized there were no answers. And there is no Burt per se to understand anything. There is just only this, which I called myself. And then everything became clear. There was nothing to get, nothing to fix, nothing even to know, but to be. To learn to be. Now, of course, the mind will start asking questions like, but if I allow myself to be, just to be, what about planning? What about working towards a goal? What about having a career? But you see, all of those things are love. If you don't love your career, what's the point? But if you love it, it takes care of itself. Because you are love. Your nature is love. And when you flow with that very love itself will bring you what you need. And in better way than you thought was possible. How grand you are is immeasurable. You are all you want, but when you find yourself, you'll see that everyone you meet is you. Everything you thought was out there is in you. There is no in or out. There is only here, now. Who I am. I am. That's all there is. I am. Thank you.